Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti.
And don't you just love how I brought in our studio audience today? Those are my friends and family, y'all. They're here to clap it up and celebrate this great girlfriend magic that is happening here on the show. So without further ado, grab something great to drink, grab your pen and paper, and get ready for this week's episode. Enjoy.
Ooh, what a day. What a day, what a day. For me, a truly exciting one because I'm on the mic and I'm having amazing interviews and conversations with great girlfriends from around the world today, actually. I can't wait to bring some of these interviews to you. This one today is a really, really intimate conversation that I've wanted to have for some time. So I'm so glad to have my guest on today. And we're going to talk about what it means to build a brand as a brand architect, what it means to really build a business that you can love, that you can be proud of, that you can use to help influence culture and help to give women and bring purpose and passion to the market. Saying all that to say, I want to introduce you to Blair Armstrong, and I'm going to give you a little bit about her bio, but we're going to get to know Blair as a woman and as a Kickstarter and as a business guru, I will call her, because what she has built is truly transformative, and I know it must have taken a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So let me give you a little bit about Blair. Blair, who is, I'm going to pause and stop there. Blair, because I'm reading off of this bio. Oh, here we go. All right, I'll be able to pull that out. As an ambitious corporate accountant, Blair knew she had an even greater vision and purpose in life to support others while also combining her passion for science and dermatology. To get to this point, she pushed through her professional and personal limitations in order to pursue her enthusiasm for dermatology. After graduating from Emory University with a Master's of Medical Science, Blair began to study medicine, working at Atlanta Family Dermatology and Surgery Center. During her time caring for patients encompassing dermatological needs, Blair discovered a growing dilemma that body care was an essential ritual for health and wellness prosperity that was often being neglected. So this is where the big drum roll happens. In 2015, Blair took off and launched Gilded, the line of luxury skincare products to bring a new focus to body care in order to help transform lives. Since then, Gilded's mission has stemmed from her firsthand experience in the dermatological space and 4 years of research and development, where she recognized the need for individuals to refocus their attention to body care in order to lead a more meaningful life. Combining her mission to put body care first with her passion for art, history, travel, and helping her community, Blair created a body care product line which introduces skin care as rejuvenating, recentering, and restorative ritual. I love this. And Blair has been featured all over the place, y'all. Forbes, Fashionista, Oprah Magazine, Glamour, and many, many more. Gilded has recently won Allure's Best of Beauty Award for its marble body brush and will sell its product line at retailers such as Net-a-Porter, Saks Fifth Avenue in the coming months. And I'm so excited, Blair, to have you on today, the founder of Gilded. Welcome, Blair Armstrong.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Sybil. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Oh, so good to have you. Blair, oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. So there's so much here. You see a need in the market, right? Because you've got this experience, you're working with women, you recognize, and I love this language, health and wellness prosperity. Like that alone is a whole other level to how we handle our skincare and nurture our bodies through skincare. What were you seeking it to do when you started Gilded?
So, Sybil, I noticed personally and in my patients that we all focused on face care.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time where we all had multi-step face care routines,
Mm-hmm.
even up to 10 or 12 steps. But body care was just neglected
Mm-hmm.
or an afterthought. And patients would ask me increasingly, what do you recommend for my dry skin on my body? What do you recommend for body conditions? So I thought to myself, these are really great point that we don't take care of our body with the same effort that we have for face care. And so
Mm-hmm.
I decided to create the line that I would feel comfortable recommending and that I would feel comfortable using.
I love that. Would you have said that you were a businesswoman or seen yourself as a businesswoman prior to launching Gilded?
No, not at all. No.
Uh-huh. So that's a new muscle for you. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, that's for certain women to do to start a new business. Well, not every person sees himself as a businesswoman when they launch something new, but they see a need in the market that they want to fill. And then that becoming experience happens where you start to evolve and you realize there's more on the inside of me. So,
That's so true. That's exactly what happened with me.
mm,
So I
mhm.
would say that I had accounting training, so I knew about numbers and I knew about science, and I was able to combine my knowledge for those things and to create the company.
Mm-hmm. So, as a business architect, where did you start?
So I started with research.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of research on the ingredients that are best for the body. The skin on our face is really different from the skin on our body.
Mm-hmm.
So during my coursework and after graduation, I continued talking with dermatologists and scientists to figure out what ingredients are we not using that could be very effective for body care.
Mm. And what was one of the keys? Which one was one of the ones you're like, wow, we're not using that?
So one of the things in our products that I really love is Kupawasu butter. It's just really incredible. It's a butter from a nut in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and it holds up to 400% water of its weight in water, which is really great for hydrating and nourishing this and conditioning the skin.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Say the ingredient one more time, and I want to practice.
It's Kupawasu.
Kupawasu. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Kupawasu butter. Have never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard
It's
of it, and wouldn't even know to look for it.
yeah, it's really beautiful. It has a great texture, really natural aroma. I'm obsessed with it.
Mm. So, okay, so you learn at this point that we're not looking at our bodies in the way that we should, or we're not nurturing that skin, and that the product needs are different. And then you're seeing a lot based off of your experience with your clients um, at the Atlanta Family Dermatology and Surgery Center. So you've got enough research and development behind your on your belt to really say, okay, there's a missing ingredient, there's a need here.
Yes. So my next step was to reach out to some formulators and cosmetic labs to get prototypes made and to get the formula to collaborate on the formula.
So, but I got to stop here, Blair. Okay, because that's a big leap. I'm not in business, but I'm ready to start this thing. Do you have a team of people? Are you doing this all solo? Is this happening in the kitchen? Where is all this taking place, and who's on your side during this process?
So I did collaborate with some of the dermatologists that I train with in more
Mm-hmm.
of an advisory role.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered the ingredients to experience them myself, each ingredient. But
Mm.
most of it was done in a lab.
Wow. Okay. Okay, this is really good. And so after building many prototypes, I'm sure was it just a one time I found it, or was it let's go back, let's reformulate, let's.
Yeah, it took many, many months and many iterations of the product to before we settled on what we have now.
Mm-hmm. And
Lots
so
of trial and error, lots of sampling, lots of asking people, try this, tell me what you think.
yeah. And then how did you get to a point where you knew you were ready to start selling?
So that's a great question. So this is what happened. I decided, and someone said to me, you could go on testing infinitely for
Mm-hmm.
many, many more months. And I decided, it's time for me to just jump right in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is true because you want to make things perfect, and
Right.
pursuing perfect can ultimately destroy the momentum that you need when it's go time, when it's time for you to just get out there and learn along the way and pick up some lessons and insights as because I think as a product developer and as a brand, you're constantly learning and building new versions, better versions of your products and your experience, right?
Right, that's exactly right. So I didn't want to be in a perpetual state of testing and development
Mm-hmm.
without getting some market feedback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then, I mean, this is ultimately a brand that you built from scratch. And I would say, would you safe to say from the ground up?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I sourced the marble for the body brushes. I made numerous prototypes before we have the design that we have now.
Wow. So, who were your first consumers? Who was the first one to say, "I love this, I'm in"?
So my family and
Mhm.
my peers, some of my classmates who are now my peers, were really the first to say, you know, Blair, I think you have something here. It's incredible. Keep going. You can do it.
Yeah. So good. And then how did you just really groom the market? Like, how did you build the audience and build, a following, and consumers to really support and opt into the brand?
So I've gotten a lot of traction through my awesome PR team, the A Lab group,
Hmm.
and word of mouth. It's been a lot of word of mouth. Early on, I did a lot of events here in Atlanta.
Hmm.
I also did a major trade show here in the city, and I had plans to do others before COVID. And so, but you know, once COVID happened, many of the shows, almost all of the shows, were canceled.
Right, right. Wow.
But we've grown really organically from people giving us a try, loving the products, and sharing it with their friends and family in their
Hmm.
communities.
I tell people all the time, word of mouth is alive and well. It
Yes, it is.
is. It's feeding families. Like, it really does still work. And we have to remember, before you want to pay for ads and do all these other things that are super special and also should be a part of the marketing matrix, you have to remember to tell people and get people talking, having conversation around products and around experience because they will share.
Yes, they will. I agree
Yeah.
completely. Yep.
And I think that's sort of the power of women and great girlfriends. We love to share. So we're always like, oh my gosh, girl, I found this new butter. It is amazing. It's doing this for my skin. It's doing, your great girlfriends and your consumers who've really opted in can sell it far better than you can ever sell it because they are living it daily.
Right. And they agree with the brand's mission and our story
Yeah.
and support. So I agree with you.
Yeah. So then, how is it that you have found a space in the market for your message? A lot of people will say, well, the market is saturated and it's very hard for me to get my voice and my message out there. How did you locate a space or a need for your voice and your message?
I would say that there will always be people who will see your vision and
Hmm.
would be willing to give you support.
I can't agree with that more. I've seen and I live that.
And no one is you. No one has your eye, or people may try to enter the market with similar products, but it won't be the same. You know,
Hmm.
we've all heard the saying, you are the magic. And for me and my brand, it's my vision and my ideas. So, you know, I felt confident in what I was creating.
Hmm. Hmm. So good, which is important. That confidence goes a long way. So now, speaking of confidence in what you've created, which of your products is your absolute favorite and why?
So, my absolute favorite product and our hero product to me is the Supreme Body Balm. For years, I tried many moisturizers for the skin on our body, and most of them would leave you feeling like you need to reapply them after the first use. You
Mm.
know, a few hours later, you would think, oh, my skin's dry again.
Mm-hmm.
So I designed the Supreme Body Balm to be lasting for moisturization and hydration that lasts so that you don't feel dry a few hours later. So that's my favorite product. I love the texture, and I love that it's unscented. You know, I'm a girl who likes to wear perfume, and I didn't want a body care product that was overly fragrant that would
Mm-hmm.
compete with my perfume or just be too distracting.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. That happens. And then you have this clash of scents like, ooh, they don't
Yep.
agree. They do
Yeah.
not agree. Yes, that is so true. We have to do one or the other. And you oftentimes have to opt out of the lotion because you really like your fragrance so much
Right.
more. Yeah. So, there's this huge conversation that I was recently reading online about Bacne, and I saw this. this post where a person said, make sure you wash your back. Don't just throw a towel over your back, but really, truly wash your back. So, I mean, and that's one of those body care um, issues or concerns that comes up that people tend to neglect, but then we also run into as you start to face acne and other concerns. How do you kind of speak to that with your product collection?
So that's a great question. So my goal with Gilded Body is to really encourage people to spend more time with body care.
Hmm.
The skin on our body is 97% of the total surface of our skin. The face is only 3%, but we
Hmm.
spend so much more time caring for our skin on our face. So I'm hoping to expand the line in the coming months to include products that treat some of the body conditions like back acne.
Hmm. Hmm. So you're saying we need to just what we need is more attentive care,
Yes,
and
to the body.
intentional to care to the body. Yeah,
Yep. Spend more time with our body through in our body care routines.
I would agree with that, and I would say one thing that I think I've learned through the Great Girlfriends community is that the more kind we are to our bodies, the more kind we are, and more loving we are, and affirming we are to our bodies, the more time we do spend nurturing, because we're not really running from something; we're embracing our bodies, and that's a different experience when you're nurturing, right?
It really is because when we do face care,
Mm-hmm.
we want to present our best selves to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do body care, it's really an opportunity to restore and recenter and rejuvenate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. So then, is there a regimen that we should be on that we're not aware of, Blair? Are we missing a step here?
So
or
I
a few steps?
would I would say a few tips would be to pick your cleanser, either your body soap or gel, based on your skincare needs, not based on the fragrance. So if you
Hmm.
have dry skin, you'll want to select a soap or a moisturizer, a gel with moisturizing properties. If your skin on your body is prone to acne, you'll want to select something with ingredients that are designed to treat acne. So that's the first step. The second
Hmm.
step is to moisturize when your skin is still damp, not
Hmm.
to completely dry off. The products are your body. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here.
That's okay.
Your skin absorbs the products better when it's a bit damp.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, not to use high temperature. We all love a great hot shower, but
Hmm.
it can be really stripping for the skin. So lukewarm is best.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And also in terms of products that we might use, different acids and different like treatment products that we may use on our face, are they safe for the body?
Some of them, so, it depends on the percentage of the active ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them can be safe for the body.
Okay. 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 This is good to know. And I'm sitting here thinking through, okay, what products am I doing and what am I using? And I got to limit that hot
Yeah.
shower.
What does your body care routine look like?
Hot shower that I'm now going to change to a lukewarm shower. Um, I use a body butter and I mix it with this rose hip oil that I really like. And it's a shea butter and it's by Shea Radiance, and I mix it with the oil just to kind of soften it up because shea butter can be really dense and firm when you are taking it out, when you're applying it. So I use it to kind of warm it and soften it, and I use that on my body. Um, I want to say that's it. Am I forget? Oh, the wash. I'm sorry. So the wash I use is actually a shea butter based soap. And I like it because it's unscented and it has a really rich lather and it feels like it's moisturizing. So, I don't feel dry afterwards. Soap can really dry me out. So I'm kind of sensitive to fragrance and also, how dense soaps are. So, what am I missing? I exfoliate also, but I use a homemade. I made a brown sugar and oatmeal mix with honey exfoliant that I use, and that was just one of those DIY hacks that someone gave me many moons ago that stuck with me.
Oh, that sounds delicious and effective. Those are some great ingredients in your routine.
Yeah, I'll tell you, after having children, um, and nursing and all of that stuff, I feel like my skin became more sensitive, or I became more sensitive to how much I applied to my skin and wanted to keep things neutral and calming and soothing so that I didn't have any kind of flare-ups or my kids don't have reactions. And I don't have kids with allergies, but I didn't want to trigger anything. I just didn't know what would, whether things would go wrong if I had too much of a fragrance or not. So I kept things or pretty mild, and I've, kind of stuck with a mild routine um, since then. And it also, I like the texture of my skin. I like the softness, and I want to preserve that. So I just figure if it's not broken, don't fix it. But there are like a few back knee concerns that I have that flared up, with hair, like with my hair being long. I noticed that I'm like, I have to keep my hair off my skin keep my hair lifted off my back during the day because I feel like that oil maybe sets in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in your one of the things you mentioned earlier, which is exfoliating, is really important for um, preventing and treating some of the acne we get. Sometimes the follicles are clogged and we have a reaction or a breakout, but you're right, hair can also trigger those things. You'll
Mm-hmm.
want to look for products with benzoyl peroxide, a wash that maybe using that once a week will help clear up some of the acne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I love that. I love that. And then, so what's in your routine?
Okay, so my routine, I'm a dry brushing fanatic.
Uh huh.
I love our beautiful marble dry brushes.
And tell
And
me the benefit of dry brushing, just so I understand what's going on with it.
so, oh, where do I start? Dry brushing is incredible.
Okay.
Not only does it feel really good, it
Uh-huh.
feels incredible. It's sort of, if you do it first thing in the morning, it it's a good way to wake up.
Okay.
So it's great for manual exfoliation. So the bristles brush away dry, dead cells from the skin, and it really leaves your skin smooth and soft. You have to do it a few times a week,
Mhm.
and even after a few weeks, you can see some of the benefits.
And so this is before the shower, or where does
Yep.
this happen? Okay.
So it's right before your shower.
Okay.
Some of the other benefits of dry brushing are it improves lymphatic drainage. So you brush towards your heart,
Mhm.
starting with your feet and up your legs, and you gently brush all over the body. And it helps to promote lymphatic movement through your body to help
Mm.
eliminate toxins through sweat.
Get out of here. This is news to me. Okay. And so,
And it's also great when people practice consistently. It's been proven to reduce the signs or appearance of cellulite.
okay. See, ladies are Googling now. They're like, wait. Oh my goodness. Interesting. And so, so then after this, is that an immediate jump in the shower from there, or what happens next?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
After I dry brush, I do a shower or bath. I'm going through a bath phase right now where I really
Mm.
enjoy a relaxing bath. There was a time last year I was just so busy. I was neglecting caring for myself. And so now I'm making a more conscious effort to really take care of my body. So I do a bath a few times a week.
Mhm.
And I also really enjoy day bathing. So
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
yeah. So I do the bath and I moisturize when my skin is still a bit damp. I like your combination of oil and a butter. I've tried that in the past, especially in the winter. It's great.
Hmm. You're right. In the summer, spring, it can get hot. And then that's
Yeah.
facts. Like you just feel like you're coated. Like, okay, wait a minute. So I do thin it out when it during the warmer months because it will feel like an extra layer of skin for sure. But
Yep.
yes, winter has been that's been my go-to. I love
Yep.
that. So Blair, last question for you. What do you want your legacy to be? What is it that you are building towards?
Okay, that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked. So, when I grew up here in Atlanta, I had I was fortunate enough to be able to see a dermatologist as a young girl, and it
Mhm.
really improved my self esteem. Being able to talk with someone about hormonal changes like acne and growing. And one of the things I'm working on with Gilded is to be able to provide dermatologic care for uninsured girls and women, first in the
Mm.
Atlanta area and then other parts of the US. Because there's so many people who don't have the option to try products to find out
Mhm.
what works for their skin
Mhm.
and who cannot see a dermatologist because their job may not offer insurance. And we all
Mm.
know that the skin is the largest organ. And I think I'd like for my legacy to be able to help people take better care of their skin.
Mm. That's so true. And we take for granted the fact that many of us are able to just go,
Yep.
and have these routines and buy these products and hear about it and just grab one and not have to think twice. So that is so helpful for you to consider, creating that same advantage or making that opportunity affordable and available to any person, to every person who has skin. I think that's a great reach for you. I love that. I love that. So, how
Thank
can our
you.
great girlfriends keep up with you, learn more, grab a dry brush? Because I think that's now on my list of things I want to try out and and check out in the next week or so.
Yeah, we're on Instagram at The Art of Body Care, and you can find us on the internet at gildedbody.com.
Great girlfriends, did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast, into the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group, The Great Girlfriends. You follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends and on Twitter at _Great GFS. Last but not least, we'd like to thank my amazing husband, Kwaku, Sam and Dilly, and all of you for being a part of the global community that makes us so strong. Please remember to share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil Amuti, and I'm out. Peace.